Yes, I'm sure some of us have seen the article making the rounds about the deep state that's about to derail election and go to other things. It is the same caliphate, juggling their plans up and down. The most important thing now, in addition to all the other things that should be done, the narrative, from where we stand, we can't see how this pretense around the election can carry through to where voting actually takes place and a candidate emerges winner. What will control what will happen? The caliphate has its own plan to derail election in order to get at its own objective of holding on to power and getting to conquest. On the side of those who are rejecting that constitution and working to retrieve their sovereignties, confiscated by that constitution, there is a very important thing that has to come very loud now. The global community with whom Ninas had been discussing is expecting to hear from us that the reason we are not going to election is because we have repudiated that constitution. If we do not say it loud for the world to hear, those who, the Fulani that have their own plans, will derail the election on the basis of security that's gone bad, and they're the ones to make it go bad, so that they can offer that as the reason why election is not going on. If we do not beat them to it, if we do not speak up, according to what Nina's constitutional force majeure spells out, that election is being rejected because we have repudiated the constitution. Look at these images. You see domino 1 and domino 2. That is what will land us in the outcome we want. That the election is shut down on account of constitution that we are rejecting, meaning that the constitution goes down as the first casualty. And then the union of death anchored on that constitution immediately terminates. And there's only one way to proceed on account of our majority status in the alliance. Look at the map again. We will just go into transition. Nobody's going to be able to introduce any war or any kind of fight. Fulani dares not start a fight with this alliance insisting on the repudiation or enforcing the repudiation of this constitution. The only reason they are still throwing themselves around thinking that they are going to confuse some more people is that people have not spoken up about rejection of that constitution. You cannot reject that constitution and you are going to an election that will renew the life of that constitution. It only shows you've not thought it through. It only shows you do not really understand what you want. But those in the powers that be in the international circuit that took time to listen to us for all of what we say we are doing, they are waiting for us to demonstrate that we have rejected that constitution. If we go to election, we are making a statement to the international community. If we go to 2023 election under that constitution, we are making a statement to the international community that we are happy to be enslaved, we are happy to be killed, we are happy to live in subjugation. That's the statement we are making. But if we say it loud and clear now, that we are not going to this election because we have rejected this constitution, that is when they will take us, they will realize that we are serious in rejecting our slave status in the union of debt that Nigeria has become. But the reason it has become a bit more urgent to say it now before it's too late to be said is that if the other side is able to disrupt security and then tells the whole world that we're not going to election because security has gone bad, that will become the controlling narrative, because the outcome will then be that they will have to stay on power assume more powers by like martial powers. They can actually suspend that constitution. They can suspend the election on their own terms and assume martial powers by which they suspend all your own rights to even speak, to do anything as you are doing now. So it is a reckless gamble. It is a reckless gamble to proceed to pin your hopes on something that will happen in 2023, controlled 100% by the enemy you are trying to dislodge. They give you plastic PVC to come and compete with them in a battle of AK-47. Let us realize that our own narrative either prevails or their own will prevail. They want to tell the global community. That's why they are throwing insecurity. They are doing things that everybody will hear everywhere. Go kill Catholic priests. Go kill our people inside church. Every kind of thing. Attack a president convoy. The whole world is hearing that security is breaking down everywhere. One day they will come to make an announcement that they can't proceed to election because security has gone bad. Because you are keeping quiet in saying you are not going to election because the constitution by which the winner will govern, whether it's Atiku or Peter Obi or Tinubu or whoever else wins, will have to swear to and govern by that constitution that makes you slave. What is the purpose of going to that election? In your best calculation, even if the best candidate emerges, he is not going to be able to touch any of the things that shackle you down. He's not going to be able to resolve the question of we the people submitting our sovereignty. At what point would that discussion be initiated if these elections go on? He's not going to be able to resolve the question of 36 states imposed by brigandage, by decree. He's not going to be able to touch 74 local government areas because everything he wants to do will be in the hands of the majority in the National Assembly to do. How many people do you have there to raise the issue there, to now go to do it? The 68 items of exclusive list that sees everybody's assets and all the power to work those assets will be in their hands. You can't even touch it. Not even Peter B is going to be able to touch any of these 3 items. Even one alphabet you want to change in that constitution will depend on the National Assembly that already in a situation where people from the part that impose those shackles are in control. So what is going to change? Why can't we define that change now? Have the constitution that will deliver the democracy we're talking about? Or would the definition of democracy change? Because we are Nigeria. The democracy I know is government of the people, by the people, for the people. It's 3 compartments. Government of the people means that the people set the supreme rules. That's the constitution. By the people means that it's only by the vote of the people that those who go to government house, those who go to power, access power. For the people means that those who wield governmental powers will do so to the benefit of the people. Why will it be to the benefit of the people? Because the people already set the rules that secure their benefits. Under this constitution, all the benefits to the citizen in chapter 2 is nullified by section 6, subsection 6C. Under this constitution, the impunity you see is because of the immunity granted in section 6, subsection 6D in the first instance. That is the section that provides a 33-year period immunity for all of those who brought Nigeria to this mess is in. Your constitution, go to section 6, subsection 6D, and you will see the date, January 15, 1966. 33 years, reckoned from January 15, 1966. Goes all the way to May, end of May in 1999. All the atrocities committed in Nigeria, those who killed people, those who seized other people's assets, those who shared the Commonwealth of Nigeria among themselves, some as oil block, some as, what they did with Land Use Act when it first came in 1978, all of those things you cannot question under that section 6, subsection 6D. Blanket immunity was offered to all of those who committed all manners of atrocities. And then the people they put in power are now protected by section 308 that gives them immunity. So between those 2 immunities of section 6, subsection 6D, and the one of section 308, you can't find anybody from the past or in the present to hold accountable for anything. They have immunity. They are placed above you. And so, what is the purpose of going to pretend you are building a democracy in which the first major leg is like that government of the people, for the people, by the people, is like a building, the foundation, the vertical columns, and the roof, the roofing structure. They are the three distinct compartments of a building. Imagine if you go to Alpha Beach in Lekki, on Lekki Phase 1, and begin to set block on the ground to build a house without making out a foundation that is sitting on concrete, firm foundation. Can you build any house there? That's the kind of thing Nigeria has been doing since 1999, building on a non-existent foundation. And that's why it's crumbling from everywhere. Show me one aspect of human development that Nigeria is the example, the good is not leading from behind. We are leading from behind on all fronts. And so it is that foundation that is not there. That is the reason our walls are cracked. We can't get to the roof that will become protection for everybody. It's like a tree. The roots, the trunk, and the foliage, that's the leaves. Imagine the roots are cut off. That's what happened to us. That's why we're drying up with all our potentials. It's like, you know, the ones who speak big grammar, they say the polity. Don't overheat the polity. That polity is the definition of the union itself. That's the constitution right there. It is that polity that dictates the politics. This PDP, APC you have seen since 1999. It is the politics that then produce the policies that put food on your table or take life from you. In that order. Polity, politics, policy. If you do not mind, if you do not pay attention to the most important, that is the polity, and you go into politics without settling, you get what you've got in the last 22 years. And the policies you get are this type that you have seen from Buhari, are this type you have seen from APC, are this type you have seen from PDP over this last. Anybody else who comes to try to govern under this constitution, even if it's Labour Party, I can assure you that the policies you will see cannot come from any other thing than the wrong polity of unitary Nigeria, the wrong politics in which the heads of the executive branch who have the spare key to the treasury and they have immunity and they don't owe you any obligation under the constitution in section 6 or section 6C. They don't owe you any obligation as citizen. So if they don't owe you obligation in black and white, they have the spare key to the treasury in black and white, and they have immunity in black and white. At what point are you going to get the dividend of democracy? Are you then surprised that you are sinking deeper and deeper into poverty, and they have taller and taller buildings springing up in Ikoyi in their names? Let us use the head God has given us to look at the problem and begin to solve it for what it is. Ignorance is not a strategy. Ignorance is punished by death. If you have this body of knowledge and strategy that can deliver your land to you and you refuse to use it, those who are coming for your land will take that land, kill you off. By conquest, become the new owners. And so, it will be your choice that you had a chance to secure your ancestral land. You left that chance to waste by going to pursue who will be in government house for 4 years or 8 years. They put you on a wild goose chase while encircling your land. You and your land, you are going to be killed. They are going to take that land. There's nothing else to be explained in that regard. And so, if in the face of all of what has been done to save you from that catastrophe, you allow that evil to befall you, then perhaps you truly do not deserve to own any land. You deserve to be wiped off the land. For those who know the value of land, to take the land. That's what they are coming for. The Bible said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. If the Fulani overruns Nigeria, it will be because we chose to work with ignorance in the face of knowledge. It will mean that we truly deserve to perish. If they kill you, it will be your ignorance that swallowed you, because you are refusing to use the knowledge that has been placed freely before all of us. A choice has to be made here. There's no sentiment. Either we apply that knowledge and save ourselves, or we hold tightly to our ignorance and perish. The Bible already settled it for everybody. It's a choice that has to be made. I think we can keep it there.